What makes a survival game a survival game? Is it having a hunger system? Building bases and homes? Foraging for scraps to craft with? Maybe it's the need to sleep, or the fight against the elements. Or maybe it's just as simple as having the main goal of the game, and the end's just to keep going, to stay alive and afloat. But does a game need to have all of these things in order to be a survival game? If not, what is it? The things that all games would need in order to call themselves a true survival game. What's up, guys? Stu here, and today I just want to talk about survival genre as a whole because, well, I think it's a mess, and I feel like I have a lot to say. Plus, I have all these unseen clips I don't know what else to do with, so enjoy. Now,
let me be clear.
I've played a lot of survival games in my day. If you're watching this, you've probably seen me playing one of them. I'd like to think I've become somewhat of an expert in the area after playing all of these.
Wrong.
But instead, what I've experienced is that classic feeling of the more you learn about something, the less you feel like you really know about that thing. Because when I look for new survival games to play for the channel in the Steam store or on the Xbox Game Pass or in my epic library of free games, I realize either I have no idea what a survival game is or the video game industry doesn't. Just a side note, I already feel like I'm going to say the words survival game so much that it loses meaning, which I think is kind of ironic considering the point of my video is that the genre has lost all meaning, but I digress. Alright, let's take a look at the Xbox Game Pass catalog. First of all, you have to go all the way to the bottom of the Xbox Game Pass page to even see the genre categories, and that just drives me nuts. You're probably going to hear a lot of little side complaints, but listen, I got a lot to say here. So, looking through the Xbox catalog, okay, sure, this one, these are survival games. I'm not arguing that. You're gathering, you're crafting, you're building a home base, fighting against the elements. But these? How is this a survival game? At its simplest description, you're gathering materials to upgrade your equipment, and you don't want to die? Okay, well, that's a lot of games. Is Assassin's Creed a survival game now? Like, is it just having the word survival or survivor in the description of the game that is fooling these companies? I'm trying to really figure it out. I mean, I mentioned some of the things before, right? Like, does it need to have a hunger system? Well, not all survival games do. Does it need to have building bases? Not all survival games do. Do you need to forage for scraps to craft with? I would say most of them do, but a lot of games have a crafting system these days. Most role-playing games do. So that's really not narrowing anything down, right? Do they need to have sleeping? Does it need thirst, temperature? Do you need apocalyptic themes or like that lone stranded survivor character? I do think the more of all of these things that you have, the better, the more survival-ish your game is. But is it just having any of these things allowed for you to now call yourself a survival game? Personally, that last one of the apocalyptic themes or the lone stranded just simply is not needed. Those are aspects that seem to really stick easily to the genre, but I really feel like it's more of a trope than a mechanic. And I just want to call that out, because this has been bugging me for a while, right? Obviously I need to get this off my chest. I don't know what game it was exactly, if it was Stalker 2, I think, but I know it came definitely to the top of my mind with Darktide and Atomfall recently in my head. Atomfall and Darktide, they are not survival games in my mind, but they're being marketed as such. It's just way too loose of a connection. Darktide is a horde co-op shooter. Atomfall is a first-person shooter role playing game. Sure, you have the ability to craft a few things, you have the option to eat food to heal, but I don't think it's a survival game. And I'm not taking shots at either of those games. I enjoyed both of those games quite a bit. Alright, moving on. Epic, whose game store just sucks. I mean, I don't think I'm saying anything new there. Their app is just atrocious, and for the life of me, I can't understand why. I mean, they have Unreal, they have Fortnite, but you can't figure out a simple web app for a store. Whatever. Anyway, in order to actually browse the games that they have in their store, Browse tab up at the top, and then you can look by genre over on the side. Now, weirdly, Epic has a lot of no-name indie games on it. I did not know that until recently. A lesser person would call it shovelware. I've never bought a game from Epic. I pick up the free games that they give out every week and through the holiday season. But they have a lot of these no-name games in here, and I've really never heard of most of these. So it was kind of hard for me to make a judgment at first. I searched by over $15 per game, and I found a lot less of those kind of no-name indies, and maybe I'm just out of the loop, but this helped me judge it a bit more accurately. And looking over Epic's catalog, it's like they almost understand what a survival game is, but then there's some weird choices in there, like Soma. And them, along with all of these catalogs, they're combining not just plain survival games, but horror survivor. Resident Evil, The Evil Within, all of those kind of games. Steam is calling survival a theme, not a genre. I think I could agree with that, judging from what we've covered so far. But even their list is pretty weird. To me, at least. Is The Last of Us really a survival game? Just because it's got zombies in it. I mean, to me, really it's more of a third-person action-adventure RPG, right? Survival is the theme of the game, so Steam's got me there. But the gameplay itself, it's really not much different than, say, Uncharted or Tomb Raider, or maybe even the Star Wars Jedi games are probably even comparable, in my opinion. It's not exactly a survival game, in my mind. And if that's all it takes, then any game with zombies then is a survival game? Is that what I'm understanding? Is that why World War Z is popping up in all of these catalogs? Because I'm so sure that that is not a survival game. It's a co-op shooter. When I started this channel, when I started this journey, I thought I knew what survival games were. This is why I branded around the idea of playing and kind of becoming an expert at survival games. I knew that I liked Minecraft, Conan Exiles, No Man's Sky, Valheim, The Forest, Outward, Rust. Okay, I more than liked Rust. I hope my point has been clear throughout this. I think I get the mechanics that help make up the genre. If I go to the city building games, every single one of them has to do with building a city. If I go to the sports section, every single one of them is playing a sport. The shooters, every single one of them is going to have your character carrying a gun. For survival, we're displaying catalogs that I don't know. I don't know what's in common between all of these, besides, I guess, not dying. I mean, someone, please tell me, what is The Last of Us, Satisfactory, Doom, and Subnautica really all have in common? Please. And when I tell others that I like survival games, I mean, what are they thinking in their mind? Is it something like Pal World? Is it something like Dead by Daylight? Or are they thinking about something like Terraria? I don't know. can't tell anymore if this is the best or worst category to brand myself in, because I feel like at this point, to play a survival game, it just means play any game with a health bar. Mario, Pokemon, God of War, Call of Duty. I guess these are all survival games now. I don't think it needs to be this open world crafting and building game that is, Minecraft-esque in order to be a survival game. Some of the top rated survival games in my mind, or probably of all time, they're not Minecraft clones. They're their own thing. The Forest, The Long Dark, Project Zomboid, Subnautica. They all have similar mechanics, but they bring their own unique twists and features. And they are so all obviously survival games. It's hard to explain. It's the feeling, it's the fight, the struggle to just exist, I suppose. And I think that's what it's all about at the end of the day. You want to feel immersed. You want to feel like you're accomplishing things within this world. It doesn't have to be via quest, but it's by your own choices, your own decisions drive the requirement to keep your character alive. And the lines of what I'm seeing in the catalogs are just so blurred. That's really all I'm getting at here. By definitions that we put on the survival game genre, I feel like I could argue just about any game is a survival game then. Maybe I'm the only one with a problem here. I don't know. Maybe everyone else is in agreement, saying, yeah, Stu, Red Dead 2 is a survival game. So is Baldur's Gate. So is Kingdom Come Deliverance, and Remnant 2, and Darktide. Sure. Okay, hey, if everyone's cool with this being the catch-all genre, I guess I'll shut up. It makes my job a lot easier choosing games for the channel, and I guess I could start varying and mixing it up a lot more. So, let me know. Let me wrap this up before I start to ramble. How do you guys feel about all this? What makes a survival game a survival game? Am I getting all worked up over nothing? Or does the industry need to get it together and start defining these things a little bit better? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you got to see some cool clips. Like I said, lots that I've played. Just didn't really know what to do with the footage, so check out my streams. I'm playing every Sunday some new survival game all the time. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.